Before we get started, I just wanted to thank you for coming out here tonight. I know it's a bad time, but I had some business to do today, and you know how it goes. I really hope you didn't have too hard of a time finding your way here. A hometown not so easy to find. It's funny. Wauwatosa is not on any maps or on the GPS. So finding it is a bit of an issue. So I just want to thank you for coming out here tonight. Right. My name is Matt Johnson, and I have been working as a crime scene investigator with the police department in Wauwatosa with my very good friend David Voss for the last few years now. It's been a really fantastic job. I've just had a lot of fun working with them, working on different cases. It's always a thrill. We met at Lawrence University in Appleton, and David came in to be a classical guitar major. He was going to be this big musician. Me, I have always had a dream to be a supermarket owner. I don't know why, and it's really hard to explain. It's just something I've always really wanted to do. So I thought, I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to become a business major, and I'm going to get me a supermarket. That was my drive for the first year or so. You know, it's funny, I haven't really changed at all since Lawrence. I've always been this really happy-go-lucky guy. I just really love having fun and being loose and doing wacky stuff and going along with it. It's me. It's who I have always been, and I think it's who I'm always going to be. There's no changing that. I was just a really fun guy in college. People would come to me if they needed a laugh or to cheer up. I could make anyone smile. It was my specialty. It's always been my thing. David Voss, he and some of our other friends once elected me as most likely to become a serial killer. That's hilarious to me. I always found that funny. I think it was because I went to a lot of tragedies. You know, plays are cool, but I love the tragedies because there's all this tension and fighting and everyone ends up dead. I mean, it's funny in a way. It's just how tragedies work. And David gets a job to work security. And that's kind of when everything changed. I joined him, and we worked as a team, you know, watching over campus, making sure nobody was doing anything bad. And all of a sudden, the both of us just kind of realized this is what we want to do with our lives. We have to fight crime. We want to solve mysteries. We're going to put the bad guys in their place. Well, it was sometime in our junior year we decided, who needs school? We're going to drop out. Let's team up and make our own detective agency. So we do just that. And David wants to do some work in Milwaukee and Madison, and I didn't think it was necessary. I understand they're big cities and there's crime, but don't they have enough police officers? At least that was my thinking. So I suggested that we go somewhere different, somewhere that probably has a fair amount of crime that is going undetected because not enough people are around. So I gave the idea that maybe we should work for the police department in Wauwatosa. And after some convincing, David said, yeah, all right, okay, if you insist. And I think it was a good choice. There's definitely been some stuff going on there that people don't really know about because no one's doing very much about it. But now that we're there, we've been making a difference, and I think that's credited to me. On one of our cases, we were approached by some TV executives, and they said, well, you two young gentlemen have been doing some fine work in this city. we'd like to hire you for a show. And we were both shocked. We had no idea what we were in for. And then they said, we'd like to bring you into a show that we want to call CSI Wauwatosa. And David was all for it. He said, this is what we need. It was tough at first to accept. I didn't think that's what we needed in our lives, but after some convincing and some persuasive words exchanged from the executives, I went along with it and I said, okay, I will be on board. What they didn't tell us was that we were pretty much going to be in charge of doing everything, which neither of us were prepared for. So the show is going to have a very interesting quality about it. Not quite like your other CSI shows that you've seen before. This is a bit stranger, and I mean, it's CSI Wauwatosa, so that seems like something that should be expected, but maybe not to the extent that the two people who were working in a detective team together had to do all the work themselves. David? Yeah, he's pretty much the same guy. He hasn't really changed very much since everything happened. Definitely still has a sense of humor. I think you get to see a little bit of that in the show, although he's definitely toned it down. I think it's something to do with the fact that there are people with cameras in his face, and he doesn't want to come off too goofy or something. I don't really get it. I've always been this happy-go-lucky, silly guy. I am going to try and keep that up in the show. I don't think there's a reason to change who you are, necessarily, because there's a camera. But he thinks because we're solving crimes, and there's going to be murders and stuff that are being filmed, so there's a little bit of a more serious tone this time. Did I ever achieve my dream of running a supermarket? You know, stuff changes. Working security really opened up my eyes to what I wanted to do, and that was solve crimes and keep people safe and do it for my best friend. So it's really changed me over the last 5 years. I must say, though, as far as supermarkets go, there's one in Wauwatosa that I found, and it has the best deals in the city. I'm saying you can get a pound of ham for under $5. That's a deal. That is a deal. I shop there whenever I can. It's kind of like my go-to for food and whatnot. Very, very good quality food. Great little store. Local business.